everyone, and welcome to Monday morning live stroll with myself and Azra. The first thing I'll tell you is, this is the first time I've walked this early since been back from the cruise. And the first thing I'll tell you is, it's a lot darker in the mornings. It's actually shocked me. I mean, we were only away for 2 weeks, but you've still got the old street lights on. It's quite incredible how much light has been lost, and this is quite interesting because obviously when I do my lives, which I try and do every morning, I'm wondering just how much light I'm actually going to have and how much it's going to affect the camera. So I'm quite interested to obviously see how it's going to go. So, what's everybody up to today? The normal questions. Any plans? Are people going on holiday? Are people on holiday? Over the last sort of few weeks, what I've been doing my live strolls whilst actually on board the cruise ship, and I've been speaking to people from all around the world. It's been fascinating, really. Sort of speaking to people from sort of all corners of the world and time zones, and yeah, it's been really, really interesting. So, as I said last week when I was doing those sort of lives, I hope some of the people still sort of stick with it, stick with the channel, sort of join with the live strolls we do in sort of my home village, because we do this every day. I'm out anyway, so yeah, I like to bring you guys along with me. Hi to this camera is not very good. I think it says Jizu. Hi to you. Good morning. Do make sure we're liking and subscribing. It does really mean a lot to the channel. I wanted to talk about something that's really bothered me since last night. There's not a lot of people on at the minute, so perhaps I'll give it a minute or two, see if anyone else joins up. A few more people coming in now, but I did a live last night, and it was a live review of the cruise. And I'd already done one sort of myself, for the sort of end of series, but I thought I'll do a live one because if people have got any questions and they want to answer, ask, they could do. I thought, what a good idea. And the amount of trolling, not me, that Julia got was absolutely horrendous. I mean, it's absolutely, the same as online bullying. It really is. I mean, I wish I'd have read some of the comments, because I was well engrossed in the video. And Julia always keeps an eye, when we're doing the live, she always keeps an eye on the comments. And I sort of said to her, I can't keep up with these comments. And she sort of said, oh, it's just, stupid comments, and just left it at that. When we came off, she was quite upset. And I just think to her, and then she told me. And I said, I wish you'd have told me when we were online, because I'd have called them out on it. Even on this channel. Sorry, not on this channel, when we've been doing live strolls. I've had people sort of been quite sort of rude. Do you know what? I'll deal with negative stuff all day long. Not got a problem with it. But, it's when people have been deliberately rude and nasty. I couldn't care less whether you want to be on the channel or not. If you don't want to be on the channel, you don't have to. So, do you know what? It bugged me overnight. And it's bugging me this morning. Because no one should be subjected to that at all. And much less someone I know, my wife, and I was absolutely appalled by it. So yeah, I was quite frustrated, to be honest with you, with it, but I've got that off my chest now because, you know, I'm just, quite frankly, quite teed off about it, really. And I don't know if she'll want to do another live, you know, with me. You know, not in that sort of environment, different when we're walking the dogs. But, you know, we were trying to be helpful to others. You know, reference the cruise, or cruising. And, you know, you think to yourself, why do you bother? And that's how I felt last night. Why bother doing it? You know, because you're only doing it to help other people. And you're getting that sort of abuse, and it was abuse. I don't need to go into what was said because it's not necessary. But it was, you know, to the point, let's say that. Anyway, moving on. Otherwise, this will consume the whole walk and I'll just get wound up by it even more. So where are people watching from? As I say, I was speaking to people from Australia, Canada, America, sort of Dubai last week. And I just find it fascinating that people watch my little channel. And it is a little channel. You know, it's growing all the time. But I do find it quite fascinating that people do take the time to watch. You know, as I say, perhaps it was a bit more interesting when we were on the old cruise ship last week. But, you know, loads of people have been enjoying these lives I've been doing with Azra as well. And as I say, the one thing that's really caught me out today, with more people coming on all the time, is the amount of light, or lack of it. I mean, it's quite incredible. In 2 weeks, I mean, when I was walking prior, and I can look back on those lives, it was fully light. Now, it's not quite dark, but it's not far off. You know, it's quite incredible. Come on, Azra. Good girl. So, if you've been with me before, you will know that we're going to be heading into the fields in a minute. As I've said before, I could still do this walk once we completely lose the light and it's dark, because I have got a sort of a beanie that's got a light on it. Although there is another walk that I can do that sort of remains on sort of the paths, but it's not as interesting. So I'll see how I go. One thing I will say to you this morning, guys, is my sea legs are quite bad this morning. You know, they've sort of had their moments over the weekend. But this morning, wow, I feel like I'm swaying from side to side. It's quite incredible. You know, people say this can sometimes go on for a couple of weeks. I can't remember how long I had it for when I came off from Jura. But it's quite bad this morning. So I appreciate you guys coming along as well. Come on, Azra. Good girl. So in a minute, we'll be heading over to the fields. For those of you that don't know Azra's history, she is a rescue dog. She came over from North Macedonia. She was found in a cardboard box at the side of the motorway. Pretty bad health. So she was brought back up to health, and obviously all the paperwork and the pet passports were done, all that sort of stuff. And we got her on a dog rescue scheme. We got her when she was 6 months, and we've now had her coming up 4 years. I think it's 4 years in October. We've had her, and she still hates vans, because I think that's obviously clearly, you know, maybe you know, in that country, sort of vehicles might drive at the animals and stuff like that, and maybe that's what she was thrown out of, I don't know. But she certainly doesn't like bands. Well, it feels like night time, doesn't it, Courtney? But it's actually, what is it, 5:25 a.m. in the morning. So obviously the sun is coming up. I mean, it's quite cloudy this morning, I will sort of say that to you. So whether if the sun was out, it would be brighter, I would suspect. It probably will be. Probably would be, sorry. But yeah, it's... yeah, so 9:25 p.m. where you are. So yeah, it's night time where you are, I guess. But yeah, no, it's sort of early morning here. And normally, if you've been with me before, the sun comes from over there. But it's really cloudy this morning. And literally, the sun will not come through that for a while, I don't think. So that's why I think it's a bit darker this morning. I think if it was clear skies, it would be a lot different. But I mean, it's getting lighter all the time. I mean, when I left home, it still felt like it was dark. You know, what have we been going now? Just coming up 12 minutes. And, you know, certainly getting lighter during that time. But it was more a shock. Hi to John. I'm really sorry, guys, when I read my phone. The text is just so small. Which is half the reason I was telling you about. I didn't see some of these comments that were coming through on the live. Well, I didn't see any of the comments that were coming through, because had I would have called them out on it. And it was only after I came off the live last night that Julia spoke to me about it. And I was absolutely mortified that she was put through it, to be honest with you. So much so I deleted that whole stream. So I was just so upset. And I was still upset about it this morning, to be honest with you, but I said my piece on that 5 minutes ago, so I'm not going to go through it again. Yeah, I 100% agree with you, Courtney. I love watching the sunrises, and we're very lucky here in the village that we've got a couple of good vantage points. If you are interested, have a look at some of the lives I was doing, and some of the videos I was doing from the cruise ship, because I got loads of sunrises and sunsets, and it absolutely is amazing. You know, and how quickly it happens. It's, you know, I've got a brilliant live, I think, of a sunrise. Come on, Azra. From the back of the ship. And just how quickly it happens. I mean, you think, oh, the sun's up in the sky all day. But when it starts to come up or go down, it does happen quite quickly. So yeah, it's worth watching those videos if you get a chance, for sure. But usually when I come around here, and I promise you this, and if you've been with me before, you'll know, the sun is brilliantly in the sky here. And that's where it will be coming from. But it is just, as I say, thick clouds. It's nice and cool, a lot cooler than it has been. And to be honest with you, I'm still out in shorts and a t-shirt, and it's quite nice. But not for my sunrises and sunset gang. There's actually a bar on the ship called the Sunset Bar, and if you like, all the way out to the Med and to the furthest place we went, which was Sardinia. It was a perfect place to be for the sunsets. But then when the ship turns around, clearly you're going back into it. So all of a sudden then the crow's nest becomes the place to be. And I don't think a lot of people clocked onto it, to be honest with you. Because when you went to the crow's nest, it was basically empty. Although you couldn't be outside there, you could still get some amazing pictures. Or if you went to the highest point on the ship, which was outside, which is where we did the sail away from, you could get some good pictures of the sun going down. But yeah, it was. I find it lovely too. So. I don't know how to take that. My English is different to American English. Is that good, bad, worse, better? I don't know. Elaborate for me. And that's from Quinn. Hi, Quinn. And also hi, Michelle, as well. Do make sure, if you are new to the channel, do like and subscribe. I love all this interaction with people, and I've said this before, it makes these walks far more interesting than me just talking about everything and nothing. So if you are new to the channel, Michelle, do make sure you like and subscribe and hit the old bell button, because we do this most days, and the more people that do it, the more the channel gets out there. Oh, bloody hell, falling down a hole. And the channel is growing and has been growing, and to be fair, I've had a massive boom from when we've been on the ship and doing the lives, but it was going really well prior, and the ship, the cruise has really helped it. But we've had sort of, over the weekend, more than that now, sort of coming up 9-10 new subscribers from the live strolls we did Saturday and Sunday. And then obviously some of the cruise vlogs that have been coming out as well. Now P&O, do you know what? It's quite interesting people ask these questions. P&O, as far as I know, unless it's an assistance dog, don't allow dogs on board. Now, I would need to look at that properly to confirm that, but I think I'm right saying that. Now, when we were leaving on Friday, it was Mum that actually noticed it, that there was a couple walking with some suitcases, and they had their dog with them. And I thought to myself, that's quite strange, because obviously dogs aren't allowed on the ship. But the Queen Victoria was in, came in, it followed us in. And I looked at that, and the Queen Victoria does allow you to take your pet on board. It boards them. You've got a walk-in or a partial walk-in deck. I don't know how big it is. For you to take your dog out, you're not allowed to take your dog to the cabin or anything like that. It does have to stay sort of in the sort of confined areas of the boarding deck, I guess. But I think it's between 800 and 1,000 quid to take your dog on board. I think I was reading, which I guess is like taking another person on holiday with you, isn't it? Obviously, your pet is part of your family, but I suppose it just depends on what you want to do, really. I mean, that seems more expensive than putting your dog in sort of kennels for 2 weeks. But at the same time, it depends how attached you are to your animal, how attached your animal is to you. As they love going into the sitters for 2 weeks. In fact, half the time they don't even look back when we take them in there. They always love coming home. But, yeah, it's just each their own, isn't it? But interesting question. Yeah, sorry, I was just reading some of the other comments that are coming through. Yeah, I am sort of out of breath now. Thanks, Courtney, as well for replying to that message. I'll be honest with you guys. I've put on just over half a stone since I was on the cruise, and I'm feeling every bit of that, because before, when we were doing this prior to going, I felt a lot fitter and a lot lighter. So I've got to get back on my diet. I mean, to be fair, I did share a video on the channel. I started on the 1st of June at 15 stone 9, and on the 31st of July I got down to 14.5, which I was really pleased about. and all of a sudden clothes started fitting again. But I'm now back up to, I need to weigh myself again, but I think it's about 14-12. And I need to put that as a marker so I've got somewhere to start again. And I do think to myself, had I not been doing the amount of walking I was doing whilst I was on board, it would have been even worse. And I don't think I overate, guys, by the way. Problem is, breakfast was pretty much a full English every day, which I would never have here. Normally here it's a bowl of cornflakes and a yoghurt. So that straight away doesn't help. Lunches weren't excessive because we all said we weren't going to eat excessively at lunchtime because it's just too much. But you still ate probably more than you would eat here. And then a 3-course meal in the evening for dinner. So you can sort of start to work it out. It does mount up, even if you don't think you're eating excessively. It does start to mount up. You know, and we did, so I was doing a mile to 2 miles every morning on the sort of decks and sort of showing people around the ship and stuff like that with the lives I was doing. And thank goodness I did. But I wasn't shocked when I came back and weighed myself. I sort of said to Julia, if I weigh any less than 15, I'll be happy. So I was happy, but unhappy, because I've got to do it all again with the weight. But yeah, I'm up for the challenge. I did it once, I'll do it again. I think my goal's got to be to get down to around about 14. I'll be happy with that. If I start going much less than that, I'll have to sort of almost buy a new wardrobe again, and I'm not doing that. I just want to be a bit more comfortable in myself, weight-wise, really, which I think is what it's all about, isn't it? So, dog's name is Azra. I guess that is a sort of, I think, do you know what, and it's a really good question, and it's now gone completely out of my head, why I was going to answer it, how I was going to answer it, but there is meaning to the name. In that sort of neck of the woods where she came from, and I can't Google it now. You know, if I think about it, I'll talk about it tomorrow. But feel free to have a look as well if you want to. But yeah, it's Azra. Yeah, you're right, John. It does burn a lot, and you know, I normally do up to a couple of miles, you know, with her, and I do sort of reasonable amount of walking at work. Not loads, certainly not like it was before. And then we'd sort of do a lighter walk in the evening. There's time isn't always on our side of an evening, so yeah, it's normally between 10 and 15,000 steps a day, that's for sure. Come on, Azra. So again, if you've been with me before, I think some of you are new to the channel this morning as well. Yeah, how you spelt it is how it is spelt. So that's, yeah, how you spelt it is quite right. This is where Julie's allotment is. Got told off because I didn't check it yesterday. But Julie's been over here since. So Julie's is the second one in there, just the other side of that one with the hose. She picked loads of sort of fruit and veg yesterday and brought it home. So we've got enough that we don't need to be using Tesco's this week for that anyway. And then a bit further up here, and I think they're in the further fields at the minute, which is a shame. But Azra's got some horsey friends that she always looks out for. She'll probably have me call me a liar. She probably won't look out for them this time. We live in a little village just south of Cambridge, between Cambridge and Royston. We're very lucky, you know, this walk, I sort of discovered it probably last year, this sort of circle walk, because before I never felt there was really a good circle that I could do. And now I've discovered, if you like, sort of 3 that I can do. Maybe more than that, actually. But this is the best one to do of a morning during the week. Obviously, at the weekend, and you get a bit more time, you can do the longer walks. Now, Azra's horsey friends are all over the back. All 3 of them. So she won't see them this morning. She might have a look, I don't know. You gonna have a look for your friends? Are you gonna look for your friends? Are you even interested? Yeah, you can see them over the back there, can't you? You can see them over the back. Nutter. Right, shall we? Azra? Sit. Sit. Show everyone your gorgeous face, because everyone always looks from behind. There you are. Come on in. Let's go. Yeah, they are amazing. They absolutely are. And I think they understand a lot more than we give them credit for. She has a brother called Ralph. Now, he is a brother from another mother. He is also a rescue dog, but he's getting quite old. Hence, he doesn't come out very often on these longer walks that we do. I'd end up picking him up. But he is a Chihuahua. And he does have old man syndrome. He really does. He is a bit of a miz. Whereas Azra, she wouldn't say boo to a goose. She's a very, very happy dog. Apart from when she sees other dogs and she wants to play. She comes over as quite aggressive. She's not aggressive, as you can see. All right, what are we now? 27 minutes. So we'll give it another few minutes to wrap this up. Thank you very much for all the comments and input this morning. It really does mean a lot. And as I say, makes it far more interesting than me just babbling on about everything and nothing. So I got off my chest a little bit of a moan early on, and I feel a lot better for it. But I want to make sure the lovely Julia is okay this morning, because she was a bit upset by it last night, by the online trolling, which wasn't fair, considering she was helping me out doing a live to help others out. You know, I was pretty teed off about it, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'll make sure she's all right. And we move on. So we will do this again tomorrow. Highlights this week. Not a lot from the point of view of it's just a normal week back at work. But the weekend, we are doing a coach trip up to London and doing a river cruise in the London Eye. So we're certainly looking forward to that. And you're right, people can be absolutely horrendous and awful. Do you know what, Courtney, when I do this, and I've had it a few times where people have said horrible things, do you know what, I'll take it on the chin. You shouldn't have to, but I'll take it on the chin. But when it's someone you care about, and I didn't even know it was happening because I was talking away and I couldn't see all the messages coming through, it really got to me and really made me angry. And I wish Julia had just written a note and said something to me, because I'd have called them out on it. I've got no problem calling people out on it at all. And it really, really upset me. So, yeah, I'll make sure she's all right, as I say. So, anyway, we will wrap this up, I think. I hope everyone has a lovely day, whatever they're doing. Courtney, in your case, you should be going to bed soon, I reckon. But yeah, it's looking forward to the little river cruise in London Eye on Saturday. But apart from that, not a lot really going on this week, so quite nice. The evenings are going to be quieter. Certainly won't be eating as much, for sure. And yeah, I hope everyone has a good day and a good week. Obviously, we'll speak tomorrow anyway. Cheers, guys. Take care. Have a good day.